We are coming into December now, which means that we have a lot of activity this week, and we also have the new moon in Sagittarius at the end of the week. So if you want to know what it is that we're releasing, what it is that we need to do for this new moon in Sag, stick around to the end of the video because that is when I'm going to talk about the new moon. But there's a lot more astrology than just the new moon, so why don't we get right into it? My name is Mimi Folco from Harvey and Alchemy. I am a tarot reader, astrologer, and numerologer, among many other magical things. I post tarot videos every Saturday and astrology videos every Sunday, so if you're interested in that kind of content or these videos, make sure that you subscribe. I'm also doing a giveaway once I hit 300 subscribers, and I will let you know how to enter at the end of the video, or it's also in the description. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the astrology. Starting on Monday, which is the 29th, Mercury and the Sun in Sag are going to be trine Chiron, which is in Aries, and then they're also sextile Saturn in Aquarius. It's a lot of words, so let's kind of break it down. Also, the moon is entering Libra, which is guiding us all towards finding some balance and harmony, especially when it comes to our relationships. You may want to be upfront in areas of pain, like maybe confronting a friend or a loved one. So, if November has taught us anything, it's honestly that we really should acknowledge the emotions and tension that we are holding in our bodies so that when Sagittarius comes into play, we can finally speak our truths regarding what is triggering that tension and how best to heal. Breaking it down, Mercury and the Sun are still in a very tight conjunction, and so that idea of showing your cards or sharing your real thoughts, I'd say this is really encouraged, especially when it comes to how you may be feeling triggered or provoked, because Chiron deals with those root wounds and traumas. So I would say not to be shocked if you're feeling a little bit more sensitive on this day. Chiron is in an ease of flow with how we communicate and what drives us. So we may be feeling driven by our past or feel like we need to regress back into the old version of ourselves. But with Saturn sextile all of this, it almost feels like it's a test to see how much we've grown and to show the work we've done to not be so reactionary. Being triggered by actions, thoughts, words, and feelings, and then letting those triggers dictate your next move. Saturn wants to stop that right in its tracks. So give yourself that pat on the back and validate that you have grown past those initial reactions and you can now respond in a much less emotionally charged way. Moving forward, Mars is how we take action, and it's also how we confront our disagreements in our lives. So along with the transit that I just talked about, we also have Mars in Scorpio forming a trine with Neptune in Pisces. This means that we have to take action in a way that really honors what the body is telling you, and that we move forward with healing in a much more external way, where before we really needed to retreat within and make sure that our feelings were even real. And so this transit could also deceive you into believing that one version of reality. So I would say to be really sure to use the Libra moon and look at the other perspective of whatever situation you're in, because you could be caught up in that emotional factor and might not have that objective view. Next, on Tuesday, which is the 30th, Venus in Capricorn is sextile Neptune in Pisces. I'm not kidding, most of the planets are activated this week. And by activated, I mean that they're like involved in transits, so their energy is heightened. Don't be surprised if you're feeling overwhelmed, especially when it comes to your emotions. Neptune is, and honestly has been, in Pisces for a really long time, so that's really nothing new. But what is new is this right set of circumstances that's provided in this form of Venus in Capricorn, which is able to see what's valuable and how you can profit, which is awesome. So use that diligent energy of Venus to work in sync with your intuition so that you're using all the tools available to you moving forward in December. Speaking of which, on Wednesday, December 1st, Neptune is going direct. Among many other things, this day is really, really busy. Because Neptune is much further than us than, say, Mercury is, its retrograde period doesn't affect us on that really physical level. It's much more subtle. It typically will bring like change and redirection in a way more subconscious way. Neptune is this planet of illusion, lack of clarity, and also of spirituality. So this retrograde period has been a really good time for us to go within and really assess where our beliefs stand and maybe what elusive circumstances that we've allowed to take over. And as it goes direct, we no longer have to face those really tough realizations and those truths that we were forced to. But it is still really important to remember what you learned. aka don't forget who or what was deceiving you during this time. On the flip side, it does mean that we could be resubscribing to that fogginess and obscurity that Neptune represents, so just be careful about what is deceiving you. On this same day, the Sun is sextile Saturn. I'm going to keep this kind of short because a lot of what we have left this week is a sextile, but essentially I would say to use this chance to bring some of your ideas to fruition. Saturn is being helpful to the Sun if you let it be. It just means that you need to accept the responsibility of your creations and take them from a prototype to the real deal. What you've been thinking of doing, what you've been working on, sorting out, now is really the time to take the opportunities and let those ideas grow physically. Also on this day, we have Venus sextile Mars. During this time, you could actually be making a profit. Think with your business mind here. You know, Capricorn rules business and Scorpio rules other people's money. So ask yourself what of value, right? Venus, value. What are you offering and what is the desired exchange? You know, is it financial, energetic, and that's for you to decide. But these two personal planets in these two signs that can be kind of obsessive or possessive are giving you the opportunity to demand what you want. But you have to make sure that your style of manifestation isn't just leaving your goals written on a piece of paper. You need to actually scope out chances and opportunities, especially with this sextile. If you're not thinking financially, this could actually be a really healing aspect. You know, Capricorn is one of those rulers of self-worth. It's Earth. And being able to validate yourself without having any external verification. One of Capricorn's lessons here on Earth is to consider what loneliness means and how much they might rely on others to quench their thirst for approval and validation. And then Scorpio is the sign of emotional depth and what you don't put on the surface. This day could also be used as an opportunity to look at those parts of yourself that maybe you hide, especially regarding maybe how you crave attention from others, right? That validation. So on December 2nd, Venus in Capricorn is sextile Neptune in Pisces. This week in general has a lot of Earth energy to it, what with both Venus and Saturn being really activated. And if you did use that Venus sextile Mars for some healing, then this day could just feel like an extension of it. But instead of doing all that nitty-gritty looking in the mirror work, this sextile gives you that chance to sit with your higher self and your inner healer and really hear their messages. What is an illusion? Who or what is deceiving you? And, you know, are you just being plain gullible? Maybe you're asking these questions, or maybe you're just feeling like you don't really have a good grip on reality at the moment and that your need for grounding is high. Do what you need to do to feel grounded and centered on this day. I think it's a really beautiful blend of earth and water. And for me personally, that's like a really good time to sit with my emotions and maybe release some of that denial that's built up. And it's not shameful to have denial, right? We're all human. So instead of playing that blame game with yourself, just accept it. Accept that denial exists and fears exist, and then you can release it. Speaking of release, we have the new moon in Sag on the 4th, which is happening at around 4 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. And it's nearly conjunct Mercury. And then Venus and Pluto have their own thing going on at the exact same time. I would say using this energy of Sag, this could present an opportunity to really release some of the old belief systems that really may have been handed down to you in your early education, because that's Mercury, right? Neighbors, local community, and early school life. Those are all Mercury. So it's about your beliefs, or, you know, maybe it's a decision to continue school or to further educate yourself and expand. And then you should align those with what your true values are. This new moon is happening in the 2nd house for us on the northeast of the United States, but you should definitely check out where Sagittarius is in your chart to gain a better understanding of what you specifically are releasing for the new moon. And let me know in the comments where Sag is in your chart, and I'll try to get back to you with a little snippet of information, a little mini reading. Anyway, Venus and Pluto are also near a conjunction on this new moon, which we'll talk about more next week, but it is close enough now to use it for the lunation. I want you to really allow yourself to be deeply truthful in regards to what you value. Maybe this means you need to implement a new way of handling finances or your relationships, or maybe working on your self-worth. Those are all Venus. And what's great about a new moon in Sag is that it's a release of beliefs, and we all have some sort of belief surrounding the best way to handle money, love, and, you know, self-care. So honestly, reflect on your thoughts here. Be honest with yourself and be open to the changes that Pluto wants to make. Generally, a new moon in Sagittarius isn't such a huge revolutionary new moon because it is a more mutable sign. There's a lot of ways to adjust the information and energy and adapt to it. But because there is that Venus-Pluto conjunction playing into it, I feel like that gives it a little bit more importance. So that is this week's astrology. I hope that was helpful for you. Like I said, let me know in the comments below where this new moon is happening in your chart, aka where Sagittarius is in your chart, and I will get back to you with how this might be affecting you, what area of your life it's affecting. And also make sure that you subscribe to this channel. I am doing a giveaway once I hit 300 subscribers that I will be be giving away a 30-minute reading of your choice, and you only have to subscribe and drop your favorite emoji in the comments so that I know you're interested in winning that reading. All right, guys, I will see you next time. I hope you're well. Enjoy the new moon. Enjoy whatever ritual you do, and bye.